Hello, everyone. I'm Mason Beam with the Wise News Network, and today we've got something special for the citizens of Cherryville. But let's get the normal YouTube stuff out of the way first. If you're enjoying what we're doing, drop down below and hit the like and subscribe button. It helps us out more than you know. Now, with that out of the way, today's video is an announcement dealing with Cherryville High School's football team. After 8 years as the head coach, Timothy Pruitt is retiring from the position. We've asked his peers about Pruitt's involvement at the school, and here's what they had to say. Coach, if you're watching, now might be the time to turn off the video.
Oh, Coach Pruitt had a great impact on Cherryville High School. He, touched a lot of kids' lives, not only in the football program, but more importantly, I think in the school and in the classroom. He was one of the best physical education teachers that you could have for health and PE. Not many teachers in their course of their career win Teacher of the Year, and Coach Pruitt did. He just put his heart and soul into teaching those kids, and he wanted to get to know all the students in the school, so he chose to teach ninth graders. And that was his choice for a long time so that he could make an impact on kids. So his impact to the school will be long felt, not only in this school, but the others that he's been at.
Well, Coach Pruitt has had a huge impact on our school. It's kind of hard to put it in just a few words, the impact he has. I think his impact starts with the kind of person that he is, and being such a person of high character. Not only is he, I think, a great football coach and teaching the game of football, but Coach Pruitt has always prioritized teaching the game of life to students, teaching them lessons that are going to, live on way beyond just the 4 years that he works with them as a football player. So it's kind of hard to put that in words, but he's had a huge impact, I think, not only on our school, but also such a positive impact on our community as well.
Well, Coach Pruitt has been a kind of a really involved person in our school, even not just as a football coach, but as a teacher and in the weight room and all the things. He tends to find his way to most all of our sporting events to support our kids, any other type of events that are going on in the school. He is all about supporting and pushing the things that our kids at our school are doing.
As you can see, Timothy was held in high regards by his peers, but this isn't all they had to say about him. When asked what they'd missed the most, here's what they had to say.
Well, if it's football season, just trying to nail him down, because he's always moving and he's always talking, but just miss his presence in the school. If there's one person in this school that would give you the shirt off his back, it's Tim Pruitt. And he doesn't just do that for other coaches or for administration. He does that for any teacher here, for any student here. He would do. He just goes above and beyond what you would think somebody should do. He's the best of us, for sure.
I think I missed the most his smile. He's always smiling. He always stops by and sees you in the mornings or talks to you. I mean, there's never a moment that he don't try to encourage you each and every day. He would always give me his input because I would always ask him. But he would always let me, try different things and to make us better and to help us to be successful.
I'm probably going to miss his, just his love for the game and for the students. He really, you could tell, he poured his heart into everything he did. He would do anything to help another team. He's always supporting the girls for the cheerleaders. Like when we have competition or something like that, he would maybe send me a text, or he would make an announcement on the PA about, how we did on the weekend, or to congratulate us.
Now, you can't have a video about someone without speaking to the man himself. Coach Pruitt is a well-respected individual, and after listening to his advice and stories, I think everyone will have an easy time saying why. Let's go to him now.
I've been a head football coach for many years. My first opportunity to be at Cherryville was back in 2002. I was the head football coach here for 1 year. And then when I left here, I went to West Wilkes for 5 years, Watauga for 4 years, and then came back to Cherryville as an assistant in 2012. My wife's family's in this area, so we brought our children back to Gaston County from Watauga County, and our youngest daughter, Emma, was born in Shelby here while we lived in Cherryville. So after 3 years here as an assistant, I went to Bessemer City as a athletic director for 1 year and came back to Cherryville as the head football coach in 2016. So from 2016 until last week, I've been the head football coach at Cherryville High School. When I first came back in 2012 as an assistant, I saw a lot of growth in our numbers And we had a year where we had almost 70 kids involved in our football program at Cherryville, which is pretty high number. Through the years, we've had, there's a quote out there that says you win with people. And when you're in a small school, the years you have the most seniors, you're probably going to be in a position to be more successful. The years you don't have as many seniors, the older the kids are in the program, the better you usually are. So I think the area that we really concentrate on is growing young men, hopefully to become better leaders in the community, better fathers, and just people that are responsible. I mean, in the world we live in today, just like I talked about a little bit earlier when I was talking about being involved in competitive sports and doing more than one thing, I think the more you're involved in, the less trouble you're going to get into too. I've heard that analogy a few times. But for me, for those kids who hopefully go through our program, hopefully they see a group of coaches that are good role models, that are going to model the things that they need to do to be successful. And hopefully we do that in the off season, and we also do that in the season, and we do that in the times when we're not being competitive, maybe in football, but maybe we're doing basketball or baseball or track or wrestling or tennis or whatever sport our guys choose to do. So hopefully they take some of those things with them. I think the more you're doing in the world we live in today and the more you're competing, the better your opportunity is to get better. Also, you're going to face adversities. Everything's not going to be easy, and that's a part of the life process and growing up. So as you're going through life and you have a difficulty, maybe you try out for a team and you don't make a team. I remember growing up, I thought I was going to be a great chorus singer for a lady named Libby Brown, and I didn't make the whatever chorus, and that kind of crushed me for a few weeks, and then I found the next thing that I wanted to do. But with that said, I didn't make my high school basketball team as a ninth grader. I felt like, I was hoping I would make the team. I had played in middle school or elementary school in Yadkin County. They only have K through 8s, where they did in my day. So I didn't make the team, but just, the opportunity to be around others. I think the thing I might miss the most about not being involved as a teacher and coach is the relationships that I have with my peers, the people that I work with, my colleagues in the building, but also the relationships you build with your students. So the atmosphere in the locker room before a game, maybe be it after a game, after a big win, or wherever that may be. So that'll be something that I definitely miss. I think in the world we live in, sometimes when you talk about trying to reach somebody or inspire somebody, you might try to do something that's not you. I don't think that's the way I approach that, though. I think the way I approach that is I be myself, be genuine, be somebody who's outgoing to others, reach out to some people that I work with on an everyday basis, and hopefully that inspires them to get involved in our program. Once they get involved in our program, hopefully they realize that it's not always about a win or a loss, or everybody's going to have playing time. Those are things that, kind of go day to day and week to week. But hopefully the thing that they understand is that we're in this together as a group, and the things that we can gain from a team atmosphere is going to carry over with us when we go to work and we're on the job force and we have to work with others. Hopefully they get some of those same principles. But for me, and the processes of developing a team, I think that's just something that starts from the ground up, from the top down, and you work at it on an everyday basis. So you just can't turn on the switch August 1st and have a successful football team. You have to build it through a process, and sometimes in life, you have more opportunities to do that. When I was a young coach, and example, when I was first here in Cherryville, I was not married and didn't have children. So I probably worked at things a little bit harder from time to time, or spent a lot of time doing a lot of different things. But as years go on and you develop and you have a family and you have kids, then there's things that are going to take the place of maybe football from here to there. We talk to our kids all the time about the principles that we have in our program, and it involves 4 F's. You don't want to talk about 4 F's in high school very much because you're talking about student athletes, but they're faith, family, future, and football. And hopefully they get the idea of that we have to believe in something that's bigger than ourselves. Faith, people, when I say that word on the interview, people are going to think directly about a religious context. For me, it is a religious context. Faith is important in my life. A Christian value is important to me. But for other people, it might be the faith in the person beside of you. It might be the faith in something that's going to be there at the end of the day. So faith can be described in a lot of different ways. But the next step in that is family. And as we go through our lives, for some kids in our community these days, the secular family of a mom, dad, and the brother, sister, things of that nature, that might not always be there. Kids may be growing up with one parent. They may be growing up with a grandparent. Their families are all different, but hopefully they realize that our football family is always consistent. And then if they can do those things and get through those 2 steps, then hopefully they're thinking about their future. And that's why we talk about, hey, you got to be eligible to play. You got to show up to school. We got to get grades and have an opportunity to, I use this analogy with my kids. You talked to me about stories. If I had $100 bills in this hand and $1 bill in this hand, this would represent the academic scholarships in our country, and this would represent the athletic scholarships. Usually I use a big book, and I'll throw a big book down and say, look, this big old book here, there's going to be a lot more money for people who are good at academics than athletics. I think that's a misnomer in our society. People think about Division I rides and things of that nature and getting a full scholarship to go play a sport. There's a lot of kids that get a lot more money for academics. So that's something that we try to instill in them. And then when it's football season, it's football season. If it's not football season, then let's go be the best other type of athlete we can be. Or in the case of a lot of kids since COVID, some of them are out there working for their families and doing other things. So I think a lot of things changed as I've went from 2016 to today, but some things don't change, and that's just the relationships that you develop with your athletes. If I said any words of true wisdom, I guess those would be things that I just say on an everyday basis. I mean, I'm just a certain way. I do a certain thing. I try to do the things that I need to do on an everyday basis just because they're needed. Sometimes we might get caught up in things and things get too busy and things get too hectic. And I think when I look at my retirement, that's probably something that I need to consider because as I've been working in the school system and as a coach, there's areas of my life that I need to go back, and where it goes to faith, family, future football, I need to concentrate on those things in my family more so. So my wisdom would be not to take everything so seriously sometimes for myself, and then apply that on a daily basis. And some days we succeed and sometimes we fail, but hopefully the successes outweigh the failures. And hopefully the other thing I would say, sometimes we may harp or think about the failures more than the successes, but there's a lot of those. So I look forward to the fact that there are things that I've done that hopefully helped others, and hopefully I'll continue to do that. I mean, as a retiree, I retired from teaching last year. I'm still back in the school building working a little bit. As a coach, I'm not going to be the head coach, but hopefully one day I'm back to coaching. I got girls softball practice tonight over at the community park. My daughters play volleyball, so maybe there's an avenue for me to do that one day. So I'll always keep that door open.
Well, everyone, that's all for today, but don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. You can find more content like this on our Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, and even LinkedIn. You can also find our articles on wisenewsnetwork.com, so be sure to head over there and check them out. And as always, please leave your ideas in the comments or email us at newsdesk@wisenewsnetwork.com. Thank you, everyone. This has been Mason Beam with the Wise News Network.